Hi guys, welcome to COSC100 tutorial number 5, exercise 3. In this exercise we're going to be working with the payment function to calculate some repayment amounts on a loan, and we'll use the COSC tool to determine the parameters required to achieve a particular repayment amount. So we're going to start by looking at the payment exercise Excel spreadsheet, which I've got downloaded, and up here on the right hand side we can see that this has columns for the annual interest rate, the payment periods, and the present value of our loan. So our payment periods are all 36 months, and our present value of our loan is all minus $10,000, and we've got an interest rate ranging from 6 to 16%. So the first task in this exercise is to calculate the repayments amount, and we're going to do that by implementing the payment formula, the PMT formula. So we enter in our PMT formula, and the first parameter it asks for is the rate, which we have in our column A. Now recall that our payment periods are in months, but our rate is an annual rate. So we'll have to divide that by 12 in order to get the correct interest rate. The next argument that needs to go into our formula is the number of payment periods. In this situation, that's in cell B2. And then we have our present value, which is in cell C2. So we drop all of those items into our formula, and it's calculated a repayment of $304.22. Now to calculate that for all rows, we simply fill down using our fill handle. You can see that it's correctly updated and calculated all of those. Now I've also got a column here for the total repayments. You won't have to use that in this exercise, but just for completeness' sake, we'll go and calculate the total amount repaid. We do that by multiplying the total payments by the number of payments you're going to make, which is our payment periods. And then we fill that one down. We won't be using this value for today's exercise, however, but just to have a complete spreadsheet, I'll put it in here. So once we've got our formulas in place to populate our payment amount, we can now start making use of the COSC tool. So the COSC tool, we can go up under the ribbon, and it fits under the what if analysis section. If we open up this, we'll be presented with this little menu, and it has a set cell to value by changing which cell. So we can set all of those different parameters, and the COSC tool will search for the configuration that's necessary to achieve the desired target. So the first scenario, we're finding the number of payment periods with a rate of 12% and a present value of 10,000 are required to achieve a repayment of $280. So we're setting cell D5. So this is going to be cell D5 because it corresponds to the row that has 12%. We're going to set that to value 280 by changing cell B5, which corresponds to our 12%. So we're going to find out the number of payment periods are required to achieve a value of 280 in this one. We can see that when we click OK on that, we've calculated that in order to get the payment down to $280 per month, we've had to adjust our payment periods out to 44.4 with our interest rate of 12%. So you can see that we've used that COSC tool to automatically calculate that scenario. Our second scenario, we're finding the interest rate with 36 payment periods on our present value of $10,000 to achieve a repayment of $300. So we want to change any of our cells that have that configuration to $300. So if we jump up to the first cell here, again we open up our COSC tool. We want to change this cell to $300. So changing cell D2 to $300 by changing cell A2, which is the corresponding row for that one. So if we hit OK here, we can see that the required interest rate to achieve that is 5%. So again, we've calculated that scenario using our COSC tool. The final scenario, we have to find the present value required with an interest rate of 16% and 36 repayment periods to achieve an amount of a repayment amount of $290. So we dive down to our row that corresponds to the interest rate of 16%, and we'll go to our repayment, our present value cell. This is the cell we're going to be changing. So we're going to, our repayment cell, because this is the one we're going to be starting out with. So we jump into our GoalSeek tool. We want to set this cell to be $290. And the cell we want to change to do that is our present value cell. So we enter in our present value cell. When we do that, we can see that in order to have a repayment amount of $290, we can only borrow $8,248 if we have that set number of payment periods and our annual rate of 16%. So this exercise is just to get you to play around with the GoalSeek tool, and acts as a nice little demonstration of the power of this tool when we combine it with our formulas for supporting our decision-making process in a range of situations. In this particular example, we've calculated some different parameters to manipulate repayment amounts on our loans. So thanks for listening, guys.